What's going on, guys? Matthew here with BTC Daily Reflections. We got about 6:38 Central Time, Minnesota way here, and 66,896 currently. Bitcoin sitting at fluctuation, of course. I was going to piggyback off a little bit what I was talking about yesterday, where you get comfortable and then you find crypto exchange. You just find something that, again, you feel comfortable with, and there's a lot of easy ones out there, things to go through that are user friendly, I should say. And then again, when it comes to the cold wallets, there's plenty out there that are user friendly as well. So just find, what fits your style and what you're comfortable with. And there's plenty of people that do reviews and everything on all of them, of course, and you can read all kinds of shit like that. So I'm using my earbuds today, so we'll see if how the sound goes and everything. Hopefully it sounds okay. And I also just want to say that focus on a little bit more too, where I was talking about you got some long-term stuff to think about. Again, like today, we got this price that it fluctuated a little bit from yesterday, but basically it's pretty easy to see when you look at just even basic charts. But since like March 16th of this last year, we've been on a pretty, steady downtrend. And we all know that, long term here, that it's going to go back up. But we're waiting for these other target prices. Again, that's just something that we know is going to happen. It's laying in the sand, and that's all right, because once we get to those, we can feel more comfortable making purchases. But again, don't let it beat you up. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just waiting. It's going to happen. Just, take some deep breaths and relax and just know that it's going to come, and then it'll go back up again. And, there's been lots of news about other things obviously going on. They had these quantum computers crack the code, apparently. I still, I'm a nobody, but I've saw some things that it's still a 10% chance that it could be cracked, and that's someday yet. That's not like tomorrow or anything. So something came up before, and then they ended up changing the code a little bit, or they changed some of the security settings. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to let it freak me out or anything like that. And clearly, the market's been doing some things where, just like the president can mention a few things like the war might be ending soon, and we have fluctuation, stuff like that in the markets, and then crypto, of course. So let's just see, it's okay. And things are going to be fine, man. We're just still waiting for some of these targets, and then going to make some purchases, and then, hodl, hold on for dear life, and just wait, that's good. And things will go back up. And then before you know it, these cycles will be talking about another cycle, years down the road, and that's all right. I also want to still mention more about the sobriety part of things here today, and just relaxing and trying to take some deep breaths, because things like that can really help you get through moments like this when you're waiting for price action, what to do, maybe jobs, like you've heard me talk about pensions and stuff. And I know, everyone might not be sitting with two pensions and like, why is this guy bitching? One of them is very small, by the way. It's nothing crazy, but I'll take it, obviously. It's going to continue to grow with me working where I'm at, for the next 12 years, 15 years, whatever. So there's people, though, that don't have none of that, and you just find something you're comfortable with, something that's going to make you feel good. It's hard. Life gets hard, difficult, and that's all right. There's some little hurdles. We all got to deal with stuff like that. Obviously, I got to practice what I preach as well, because things will drag me down sometimes, and I let it bug me, and I shouldn't by any means, let things worry me like they do. And that's all right. Just got to know that tomorrow holds another key. There's another door, the window that's going to open, everything like that. Whatever analogy you want to use, tomorrow's going to be okay. Focus on now. Just know that you're all right. You take some deep breaths, in and out, breathing. Just focus on calming down, and next thing you know, it'll be okay. Just break it down moment by moment, minute by minute, things like that. Technique that they talk about in the program and stuff. And again, meetings really help, and I should practice more what I preach. I haven't been able to get to a meeting for a while, real in person. But again, I want to talk about that 319. That's the online Zoom meeting that is continuous. And for people that need verifications, even they do verifications. And if you don't know what a verification is, you don't need one, obviously. But it's very important and cool that an online community can even support that, and it counts, because it's hard, especially with different time zones all around the world, like to find a meeting at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. But guess what? They have them, so it's great. And it runs, like I said, continuous every hour, on the hour, new topic, different people. There's a lot of the same people run the meetings, but obviously they try to change because they can get wore out. And obviously they need volunteers too. So if anyone's out there able to volunteer time and you got some sobriety time, and you know what, that's something you could do and help, it's fantastic, especially if you got a computer. It's a little hard just off the phone, like what I'm doing here. So that's why I don't do it. But some of the programs they have are getting a little easier, but still, it's much, much easier if you have some kind of a computer. So if you do and you got sobriety time, check it out, man. And maybe you can pitch in and, help someone and make things move forward and just let people know that it's going to be okay. And then, we'll just walk this path together. That's another main thing. And, we had some weather move through here that wasn't too bad. So I was freaking myself out a little bit about having to go in because it sucks, waiting for a phone call to go into work. Because, like I said yesterday, I got to go in at 12:30 to start plowing snow or putting salt down. But it didn't really happen for our department, so that's nice, But again, it's still hard because I was waiting up and down, up and down, up and down, freaking out, kind of going through some things. And then you don't get very good sleep, So, but that's okay. And went into work at normal time, had a pretty good day, a smooth day. Someone retired today too. So, of course, that's what got me doing these videos is, reaching retirement. This guy happened to he retired at 62, which is fantastic, good for him. But I'm hoping, again, that I can get to a point where I can retire before 62 because you just don't know. Even this person, he's in pretty good shape and health, but there's some things that are ailing him. He was saying that they had these big dreams. His wife and him and his wife had some big dreams and aspirations, to do some things like my wife and I talk about. Hey, maybe we can do this someday. And he says they don't know. He doesn't know if they can do it anymore, So that sucks, even at 62 now. And I know that that's still not old, but to even have something come up to where they might not be able to do what they wanted to do, even as early as, 55, that's a big difference, So I just started getting me thinking a little more like, this stuff is going to roll forward and it's going to be all right. But still, things like this, I'm going to keep, like I said, just wait for these target prices. And I'm going to end up purchasing more, just laying in wait and see what happens. And then when these prices go back up, we'll feel a lot better. And then these videos become more popular, stuff like this. Because right now it's, again, like I said, if you're here now, that means you're in it for the long haul already, probably, Bitcoin's not very popular right now. When it's on these hardcore uptrends and everyone's talking about it, next thing you know, it's catching like wildfire, So when you're in it, times like this, that lets people know that, and you can know that you're in it for the long term. So that's good. You kind of know, hey, I'm here, I'm doing it. So we're walking it. Like I said, we're walking that path together. It's all right. Everyone's got similar paths, not the same, similar, but we're doing it together and you're not alone. So again, let's just see what happens here. And don't freak out about crypto and news like that, especially Bitcoin, all these other shit coins, forget about that stuff. But, crypto alone, when stuff happens, and again, even something like, especially Trump, he's able to make a big announcement, or Michael Saylor makes some kind of announcement, it does, it can affect price action sometimes, especially when people, you got these buys and sells coming in hardcore, things like that. But that's all right. Let's just wait and know that we're waiting for this downtrend, baby. So that's all right. You guys take care now. And I know I rambled a lot here, but maybe tomorrow will be a little bit better. And I'll feel not as much of a zombie from lack of sleep here. So anyways, you guys, again, take care. Have a good night. And I am not a financial advisor, but again, my opinion. So you guys trade at your own risk. And please, I know it's late in the video, but like and subscribe if you can. And again, shout out to my First subscriber. That was nice, man. You guys rock. Guy or gal, take care. Later. Bye, y'all.